Okay. Rather than try to mess around, of course, will come. Anyhow, I tried messing around with screen sharing software. I can't figure out how to use it. And whatever reason out here in my North Carolina area of Spectrum, the internet connection just keeps dropping the speed around this whole area. And this is before the hurricane, too. I'm fine from the hurricane. So, we're going to talk about HF stuff here. Now, I made some mistakes on some of my stuff here. So, we'll use a pointer here. We will use this Chrysler Apprenticeship Program screwdriver. So, these are the two frequencies being used for health and welfare on the HF side. This I listened to earlier. It was a typical NTS-style traffic net with no check-ins and all this stuff. I think it's more set up for the Raleigh eastern part of the state, which is largely unaffected by this. Actually, minus their flooding a few weeks ago. This is the frequency we hear some activity on. On the HF radio, which I'll put a picture up here, the HF radio that I have, for whatever reason, either people weren't talking or I was picking up something else, like people were rag chewing or something. Remember, these HF frequencies, they're open worldwide, so it doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to hear disaster traffic on this frequency. You might hear local rag. I heard people just rag chewing, but I couldn't get it in for some reason, so maybe they're too far away. So it goes on and on. Just a generic like press release from the ARLL. The ARLL I have no opinion on, just like the NRA. I mean, they do stuff. You could argue if they do or they don't, but I figured this will be the go-to information for the frequencies, which are what we're seeing locally. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to, and disregard this, we're going to go to SDR radio near me, so we can hear the HF side, because I don't have HF equipment, and I deal with a huge noise factor. So let's see here. I found one earlier. The first website that comes up actually is very useful. And I'm going to go on the map here. I'm going to have to zoom in here. I found one, QTH's location, north. Maybe I'll get a list, because I don't like clicking on maps. It's a pain. Yeah, North Carolina. Let's see if anything pops up. Okay. So let's try this one here if it's online. It's kind of right in the area, sort of where it is. Most of the area we're talking about with the hurricane is down in here. So if this is up, we should be able to hear it. Whereas I am over, oh boy, let's see. Right about here. So HF should still work, but you know, I don't have the best setup for this stuff. I really don't. I sold my HF equipment. I used to have an L-Craft, and I couldn't get into it. I mean, to me, that's a different discussion on the ham radio side of things, and I'm not really into HF, and it's very expensive, and I'd rather spend my money on other parts of the hobby. So let's click on this here. And we'll click on this. I think I already was here a few minutes ago. Maybe my frequency will still be here. Oh, that's great. All right. So it defaults to WWV. So we're gonna go to 7232. That's the clock channel. WWV is like the All right. So now we're on 7232. We're going to go on LSB.
Manager of the WinLink Express. If you are not a WinLink user, please supply the following critical information. Status with yes or no.
I don't know what this is. LSN.
Your field situation report is based on what you personally observed from your location.
I don't know what.
If your situation changes, please send in a new report.
I don't know what this
Yes
is.
or no. Food available? Is water available? Your location, county, city, address if possible. GPS coordinates if possible. Do you have phone access? Landlines, voice over IP? Is anything operating? Is commercial power operating? Yes or no? Public water works operating? Yes or no? Cell phone service operating? Yes or no? Internet access operating? Yes or no?
So as you see, there's some rules here for this net on how to get things out. We can't just have people just talking over and over. The average person's not going to have access to HF equipment. It's just that simple. You're lucky to have your Bayophane ready to go if you're not, realistically. I mean, all I run here is VHF, UHF anyways. Okay, let's see. Maybe there'll be somebody calling in this net.
Charlie at winlink.org. Please do not send blue sky reports, and remember any updates to situation, power back on, water restored, cell phone service restored, anything, please send a new report. Are there any callers right now? We are listening. Go ahead.
Callers.
Okay, I heard a double there. First, the Georgia station. The station that mentions Georgia, please repeat. Okay, the other station, was that you, John, KQ4FSP? Please go ahead. Okay, from what my friend can understand, he has 10 or 15 people with him when they went down the mountain this morning when it came south.
So when somebody's calling in information, this is from Georgia. You gotta admit, this is pretty cool. I'd love to have a setup like this, like an HF setup. All right, so he's giving a status report, probably from pen and paper. He's talking about what his supplies are, like what they said, the water unknown, phone unknown, all this stuff to get a report in. Because at this point, especially if service is down, the only way you're going to know is the so-called boots on the ground reporting. Who knows what this man's running, by the way? He could be running a simple L-craft on battery power or something.
Okay, QSL. So that was John, KQ4FSP, relaying information coming up from his friend in Lenoir, North Carolina. Said that they cleared the road with 15 people and went into downtown Lenoir. He drove there with his pickup truck, and there's about 70% of power. Walmart is open. Doesn't look like too much damage to Walmart. Status of water is unknown. Power is unknown. Bridges unknown. Towns nearby, Blowing Rock and some other towns nearby have issues, of course. Also saw 10 to 15 people on the side of the road looking for cell phone service. Anything else, John?
So that's some good information here. All right, let's go on. Now, this is actually what I'm talking about here. We're just gathering information and intelligence, which is somewhat useful. Now let's go over to the other frequency, which was 3923.
QSL on that. Okay. Very good. So, his friend in Lenoir went back home. He's going to just
And I hear nothing. This net's pretty much useless. And I don't think that's an intentional thing. I think it's more that this net is more for Raleigh going out to the East Coast of North Carolina. I do have some video from the regular VHF radio talking about this. Now...
Traffic. Did I miss anything?
WK4WC, good evening, Joe Lane, no traffic.
Had you wrote down and walked up here?
Did you get Whiskey 4 Echo Hotel?
Yes, I did. I got him in the first go-round.
Does anybody have any traffic?
Yes, I do.
What that amateur's doing is commendable. He's giving us information on what's going on, his conditions, and so we get an idea of the boots on the ground. And his only way out might be HF, because he may be too far away from the 145-190 repeater to make any type of contact off of that. Now, keep in mind, I'm not familiar with the geographic area of this part of North Carolina off the back of my hand. I'm really only familiar from where I moved down to and where I live. So, you know, at the end of the day, yes, HF is still useful, but I for the average person, I don't think it's very practical, because it's very expensive to get involved in. And the equipment's not portable, and people are arguing with me about that, but it's not portable. So let's go over to this should be pretty easy to find here. Go to top feeds, probably one of the top feeds. Here it is. This is, now, I'm going to say something before I put this on. This is not something that is going to be Bill and Ed talking about the Dawn Shop or talking about the radios. This might be disturbing, okay? So let's click on it and see. And we're going to play it.
And I rode our Harley down there not too long ago with a couple friends, and yeah, that was my first time there, and absolutely just stunning landscape over there. So, all right, if we hear anything, we'll let you know. K2DMG. Next control. Go for net control. Yeah, can I make a quick call to Tarheal up there, please? Absolutely, go ahead. Okay, N4EDX. Ed, are you still monitoring or listening? N4EDX, W4RCW.
This is a top feed and radio reference right now, or Broadcastify.
Probably busy. I'll try him again later. Need to cancel a health and welfare request, so I'll get
I am a premium subscriber, but I'm not logged in.
Yeah, not a problem. Ed has been, he has been just a godsend for the folks in his community, and I tell you, what a nice guy. I look forward to meeting him. I really do. He's been very, very helpful throughout all of this. So he'll be back, I'm sure. He's here multiple times a day. K2DMG. Roger. Yeah, I hate to say it on here, but he's a pretty good guy. W4CW. Thanks.
Now this has been non-stop. People calling in.
Net control. Go ahead, K2DMG. Whiskey Alpha 4, Sierra Golf Foxtrot, to cancel a health and welfare. Go ahead. Subject Megan Willis on Highway 19 West in Green Mountain, North Carolina. Subject has been left.
So I'm going to mute that out because it probably has personal information, kind of a common name. But they pass on the phone number and the information. So what happened is you call in here. I'm stuck in Asheville, or I'm stuck in the area, and I got my little walkie-talkie. And I want to let my dad know in Massachusetts that I'm okay. So I get on the 145-190 repeater. Now this is linked to this. It's unclear if it's linked on radio reference only or linked back to Charlotte. But we'll just assume it's whatever. So Again, the 14519 repeater, no offset. My little radio here. I don't really like this radio. I prefer more of a generic commercial radio for generic two-way radio use. I get on there and I say, hey, this is Rob, my call sign, and so I'm not gonna say my call sign, but if you really want to figure it out, you really can. I don't really care. I'm okay. Can you contact my father in Massachusetts? Here's his name. Here's his phone number. And then then somebody else will text my father or call him and say, hey, Rob's all right. And that's the end of it. The other thing these repeaters are passing on is emergency type traffic. Hey, listen, this is Bill, okay? I'm stuck on the 7th Hill. We need assistance. We're stuck here. We got 5 people, etc., etc. And the water's getting higher. And then they'll coordinate. This is being run by EOC a couple counties away in Aridel County, as far as I know, which is more towards Statesville, which is probably about maybe an hour or 45 minutes an hour away from there. So let's take a listen real quick.
And I don't have the network ID, but the password is NC Strong.
What the heck, man? A password? It's all emergency stuff. This is how it's supposed to be.
The signal is best on Mountain Street side. Please share to other groups.
All right, that's good information. Yeah, as we were talking about when we opened up the net today, Starlink has really made an impact on this area, and there are dozens upon dozens of organizations that are coming and setting up Starlinks for folks, and that's about the 5th one I've heard of with the same password. So I don't know if that is being coordinated or if people are just picking it, but I bet you it's coordinated.
So he's using talking about a Wi-Fi password for a Starlink, which is a satellite Wi-Fi link. I think Elon Musk does the technology. Anyhow, that's about it for this. I think.